Sentire Media.
Welcome to the Stop Italian Sounding podcast, uncovering authentic Italian food. I'm your host, Robert Campana, and join me as we delve into the rich heritage of genuine Italian food, exploring its legends, history, and traditions. Through important tips and insightful interviews with industry professionals, you'll gain a deeper understanding of authentic Italian food. Welcome back, everyone, to the Stop Italian Sounding show, uncovering authentic Italian food, bringing you short bites of Italian food culture. So, just a second about my intro. It's kind of new compared to what I've had in the past because, like I said in the past episode, I am bringing you now shorter episodes full of Italian food culture. But I did say in the past short pills of Italian food culture. And I did have a follower reach out to me saying, why don't you call them short bites? Because it's more on par with Italian food. So I said, that's a good idea. So that is what I am going with right now. So we're bringing you short bites of Italian food culture. So I thank Heather, her name is, I'm giving her a shout out right now. She messaged me with that suggestion. So I am going with it. Anyway, in today's short episode, I want to clarify something that often creates, I don't know if tension is a correct word, but definitely a sort of confusion. And that is Italian cuisine and Italian American cuisine, which are two separate things, two different things, and both, of course, deserving respect, each deserving respect. So understanding the difference isn't about judging what's right or what's wrong. It's about history. It's about migration. It's about identity and the stories behind the foods that we all grew up with and that we all love. So Italian American cuisine, let's start with that. It was born, let's just say, between the late 19th century and the early 20th centuries when millions of Italians immigrated to the United States, mainly from southern Italy. And they arrived poor. They often faced discrimination. And they found ingredients like meat, cheese, sugar far more abundant than they had back home. And many traditional ingredients were either unavailable in the New World or very different in quality. So Italian immigrants had to do one thing. They had to adapt, something that Italians, quite honestly, have in their DNA. So we're talking about l'arte di arrangiarsi, the art of adapting. So what did they do? They adapted. They cooked from memory using what they could find, stretching recipes, enlarging portions, and celebrating abundance in a way that simply wasn't possible in Italy at that time. So Italian American cuisine wasn't about quote unquote fake Italian food. It was a new cuisine that was being born. It was rooted in Italian tradition, but shaped by the American context. So Italian cuisine in Italy, let's just kind of talk about the distinction between Italian cuisine in Italy compared to Italian American cuisine here in the United States. So Italian cuisine in Italy is deeply tied to things like regional identity, seasonality, local ingredients, and historical contexts, according, of course, to that specific region. And instead, Italian American cuisine reflects more of the immigration experience, adaptation, celebration, and success under those hardships that the Italians had when they left Italy in search for a better life back in the 19th and 20th centuries. So they share a common origin. However, they did evolve, obviously, in two different environments, which naturally led to different results. And comparing them directly does miss the point, in my opinion. Many Italian American dishes are directly inspired by authentic ones. And I just want to give you a few examples, but there are many examples out there. The first example that pops in my brain is chicken parm. So chicken parm comes from la parmigiana di melanzane, so replacing eggplant with chicken once meat became affordable and was found in abundance. So of course, the original dish is eggplant parm, la parmigiana di melanzane. And from that, chicken parm was born within the Italian American culture. Next thing that really represents the Italian American cuisine is the dish spaghetti and meatballs, which echoes the Southern Italian meatballs, traditionally smaller. If we're thinking of the dish, spaghetti alla chitarra con le pallottine, traditionally eaten in Abruzzo. So that dish has much smaller meatballs and served with the spaghetti alla chitarra compared to the spaghetti and meatballs, which are larger meatballs with spaghetti. Next thing I could think of, we typically see in the Italian American cuisine is baked ziti, which does have roots in the pasta al forno from southern Italy. And then a staple in the Italian American cuisine is the quote unquote Sunday sauce, which reflects their traditional slow cooked ragu alla napoletana, made on Sundays, made for different festive family meals. So the slow-cooked ragu is something that does exist in Napoli, and given the fact that many southern Italians left southern Italy and came to the United States in search for a better life, they did bring that dish with them. So, of course, each dish does tell a story of adaptation. It tells a story of creativity. It tells a story of resilience, and it is rooted in dishes that existed back home in Italy. So, I think that deserves to be recognized and celebrated. Anyway, today, Italian American cuisine does still play an important role as a cultural ambassador for Italian, quote unquote, flavors, if you will. Let me explain, because millions of Americans were first actually introduced to pasta or tomato sauce, I should say, or different types of Italian ingredients through Italian American dishes. And that's something to recognize, and it's something to value and even celebrate, I would say. However, at the same time, it is very important to distinguish Italian American cuisine from authentic Italian cuisine. So confusing the two, especially in commercial or the educational context, can lead people to misunderstand the diversity, the tradition, the authenticity, or any other elements of food in Italy as it is today. So respecting both traditions allows us to celebrate the Italian immigrant experience while still honoring Italian culinary heritage, or as what we would call authentic Italian culinary heritage today. So anyway, Italian cuisine and Italian American cuisine, as I mentioned throughout this episode, are indeed two separate things, both obviously to be respected, but both born from the same roots, because they are shaped by different realities. And that is something that people should recognize. So understanding that difference does help us to appreciate food more deeply, and that's extremely important. And it also helps us to tell more honest stories, more honest historical aspects about where those dishes do come from. So next time you enjoy an Italian American chicken parm, or an Italian American Sunday sauce or baked ziti, think about the history behind it, the Italian roots, the American adaptations, and the culture that each of them do represent. So that is today's episode of Uncovering Authentic Italian Food, and I hope you enjoyed this small bite of Italian food culture. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the stories of authentic Italian cuisine. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast for more insights and interviews. Also, feel free to reach out with your thoughts or questions on our social media channels at Stop Italian Sounding or on our website, stopitasounding.com. Grazie a tutti e alla prossima.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.